So here we go with part 3 of analysing the role of the BBC in the fraud of Formula One. And we need to look at whether it's just incompetence, whether they are truly corrupt, which they are. I will tell you that for a fact they are corrupt. And are they racist? And we're going to explore that language in this video. If you've not already seen parts 1 and part 2, please watch them. The thumbnail for part 2 looks like what you see on screen at the moment. Okay, so there's going to be a slight overlap from the end of part 2 with the start of this, but you'll see why and you'll see the importance. So I'm going to hit a play on the original recording that I did that was basically blocked from being shown on YouTube. And this is the recording that I'm breaking down into parts. So here we go. Pay close attention to what is said now.
Now, I am all for being optimistic and trying to sell the coverage.
I'm all for being optimistic and trying to sell the coverage. I am all for being optimistic and, this is the key, trying to sell the coverage. You're the BBC. What are you selling? What are you selling, BBC? Sell the coverage. 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 Marketing. 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 Communications. 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 What do marketing do? Sell. What do marketing do? Sell. Act like you don't know what you're doing.
Now, I am all for being optimistic and trying to sell the coverage.
Sell the coverage. Sell the coverage.
Oh, now, what are you going to do?
Don't do this.
But even if Verstappen
Don't do this. Don't do this.
falls back to P2 or P3, he's going to come through to win the race. I think we've got to be...
Oh, finally. Let's face it, everybody. Verstappen's going to win this one. Why would you think that? Because remember at the start of this, what do you think's your prediction for this race? I don't know. Anything can happen. But, oh, we're waiting for the restart. Realistically, what's going to happen? Well, what have we seen all the time? Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull. Oh, there's a Ferrari in there. Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull. Who's running for Red Bull? Max Verstappen, 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 Max Verstappen. Keep saying it, keep saying it. It'll excite these youngsters that are watching this. Max Verstappen! Yeah, keep parroting the narrative. Andrew Benson likes Max Verstappen. Andrew Benson, the way he writes his articles, I'm sure he likes Max Verstappen a little bit too much. But don't say it. Don't say it.
Be honest about that.
Why?
You want to be honest. You finally want to be honest. You want to be honest. Act as though you don't know what you're doing.
Why are you bringing everyone down? It's Sunday.
Win the race. But even if Verstappen falls back to P2 or P3, he's going to come through to win the race. I think we've got to be honest about that.
Why are you bringing everyone down?
Why are you bringing everybody down? What? Calling out the truth brings people down? Calling out the bullshit brings people down? So what you're doing, you're hyping people up with false information, with false hype, with giving them the notion of possibilities which aren't possible, just so that...
Don't do this.
But even if Verstappen falls back to P2 or P3, he's going to come through to win the race. I think we've got to be honest about that.
Why are you bringing everyone down?
Why are you bringing everyone down? That doesn't sell the coverage. That doesn't sell the product. That doesn't sell. Act like you don't know what you're doing, because that's what the marketing director tells you to do, tells you what you need to do in order to sell the product. Sell the product. BBC, selling the product, parroting the narrative. Who is paying you to sell the product? The British Broadcasting Corporation.
Sunday afternoon. It's 20 past 5. Everyone wants to be G'd up.
Okay.
Everyone wants to be G'd up. Everybody just wants to tune in and watch sport, authentic sport. We don't need to hear the bullshit, the fake speculation, the fake narrative. Okay, not interested in that. You might get some 15-year-old wanker that does, but what you're doing, you're creating 15-year-old wankers with no integrity because of the way you're presenting the sport. Like I said, let's all pretend that we don't know what we're doing. Let's get the teachers in schools pretending that we don't know what we're doing. Hey kids, let's do this. But you know what? Anything can happen. We don't know, do we? We don't know. It could be anything. Anything can happen. What kind of world does that lead to? The BBC. This is the impact you're having on society. You fuckers. You fuckers.
Win the race. I think we've got to be honest about that.
Why are you bringing everyone down? It's Sunday afternoon. It's 20 past 5. Everyone wants to be G'd up.
Okay.
Oh,
well, I just thought I'd add, because Andrew's not here now today, so I figured I better just bring in a bit of realism into.
Oh, because Andrew's full of realism, isn't he? Andrew is full of realism. Because Andrew's told us the truth about what took place in Abu Dhabi. Andrew's told us the rules of the sport. Andrew's told us the unlapping procedure, how that works, why it must happen. Andrew, who I have contacted countless times to tell him what he is not exposing to the world, has never exposed it to the world. Why is that? Because he takes his paycheck. Where does that paycheck come from, Andrew? Where is it that's paying you to parrot the narrative, Andrew Benson? You corrupt bastard.
Into the commentary.
Yeah, but I can hear Benny saying, but he's still going to win, even if he dropped to 10.
But if he does drop back, I suppose then you do have to deal, of course, with the manager.
And now we have to delve back into the speculation of, but if he does back out, he has to deal with all these factors that make it so much more difficult for him, that's caused him so many problems for every other race this season, where they've caused him problems there and he's not been able to blitz himself back through the field again and win with that car at a canter.
Managing your tyres in traffic, as you've discussed, and the DRS trays that were forming.
Yeah, because then DRS trains really affect Max Verstappen's car, doesn't it? Yeah, we've seen him get bogged down in those DRS trains, haven't we? Yeah, all the time.
Towards the rear of the field, certainly in yesterday's sprint. So it does make it harder, of course. But I mean, the RB19 is and will be and will go down in history as one of the best cars to have ever graced Formula One.
There's no question in its legality, though, is there? For that particular car to be that far ahead, when you've got other teams on the grid which have got engineering prowess too, there's no question in the legality of that Red Bull car. Now, a few seasons ago, Jenson Button won a world championship in a Brawn car. And what if you follow the course of that season? For the first half of that season, that car was unbeatable. And Jenson Button was one of the best drivers we've ever... No, we didn't hear that narrative then, actually, did we? We didn't hear that just because Jenson Button was winning every race at the first half of the season, pretty much, that Jenson Button was one of the greatest Formula One drivers we've ever seen. No. We were told, reality is that car was just significantly faster than everything else because they'd found a loophole or a grey area. Right, so what happened? Well, the other teams developed their cars to a point where they were faster. So in the second half of the season, Button didn't hardly win anything. But he did enough to cling on to become world champion. Because that's what happens in Formula One. The other teams catch up. Red Bull are still streaks ahead. Red Bull aren't even trying. Red Bull are hiding performance. In the sprint race, that car, 25 laps, was 25 seconds ahead of third place. That's the kind of level of performance that car has got over the rest of that field. That's not normal. If it's not normal, is it legal? Oh yeah, the FIA. The FIA will tell you the truth about this. The FIA will do their full scrutiny. You can trust the FIA. You can trust the FIA are going to reveal if the Red Bull car is illegal. Yeah.
Yeah, Lando's going to win. That's it. I've said it. Lando will get his win today. Why not?
If there was anyone to do it, at this time, we've seen McLaren getting into their track, getting into their groove. We've seen Mercedes coming up to speed. We've seen Fernando Alonso doggedly determined as always. I'm not saying never say never.
I'm going to interject on my original recording. So she's talking about, we've seen Mercedes getting up to speed. Well, we'd seen the sprint race the day before when Mercedes were going backwards the further the race went on. It clearly wasn't working for them that weekend. So again, what are we presenting? What we're doing, we're hyping things up. We are presenting to the world, well, the competition could be fierce because this is a potential candidate, this is a potential candidate, this is a potential candidate. And very few of them are really, are they? So what are you doing? You're not presenting reality, you're presenting hype.
And trying to keep as optimistic as possible.
Well, that's why I've just gone that Lando's going to win. You know, let's put something different out there. Sort of going with Harry and Benny saying Max will win. I don't want to be realistic today.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Look, I just thought...
Thanks for that. Thanks for the filling the time with bullshit. Now, this one, bit of a throwaway comment, but it does reflect the attitudes of the people presenting for the BBC. It reflects the attitudes of those paid to be in roles presenting to an audience employed by the BBC.
I think, did I say to Steve that Charles Leclerc was starting alongside Verstappen? Obviously, I meant that there would be Lando Norris will be starting alongside him. Did I say Lando?
No one will ever know.
Well,
no one will ever know. Now, I'm going to compare that and contrast that with another bit of footage that some may be familiar with. Let's see the similarities.
Yeah, whatever, David. Have you made any redundancies?
I gave a speech only this morning to my staff assuring them there would not be cutbacks at this branch and that there certainly wouldn't be redundancies, so...
Well, why on earth would you do that?
Why? Oh, dunno. A little word that I think's important in management called morale.
Well, surely it's going to be worse for morale in the long run when there are redundancies and you tell people that there won't be.
They won't remember.
They won't remember. Is that pretty much your attitude as well, Jenny Gal? They won't remember. It doesn't matter. You can say anything and it doesn't matter. Because it does matter. It matters a lot. You are lying to people's children. That is fucking disgusting. That is absolutely disgusting. And I'm going to do a whole separate video on that because you're not the only fucker in the media that is lying to people's children, affecting the minds of people. It is disgusting, your role that you have chosen to do and the role that you are serving in society, you fucking mercenaries. Anyway, I'm going to carry on with this video and see what else I said. Don't care about what you say or how you say it because no one will ever know. Nobody will ever pay attention. People are thick. They don't know. That's the contempt that you treat the viewer and the listener with. The British Broadcasting Corporation has contempt for people's intelligence.
well,
I don't really listen
Producer
to
Joe's
Harry,
having a
to be
go at
fair,
me, so, you
but
know.
I can answer Jenny's question now.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Not interested.
He's guiding you through all the coverages. Myself, Harry Benjamin, alongside me is the multiple W Series race winner Alice Powell, and Jenny Gow is...
So there's the BBC presentation team. That's who they are. That's who the BBC employ to inform people about this sport. That's the knowledge that they have. That's the knowledge that they're imparting. They don't know the rules. They lie. They present possibilities which aren't possible. They come up with waffle, conjecture. It's meaningless crap. Act like you don't know what you're doing. Are you acting? Or is it that you just don't know what you're doing? Are you corrupt? Or are you incompetent? Or are you both? Or perhaps the question should be, are you racist? Because why is it that you are hyping up a British competitor who has achieved nothing in the sport and downplaying a British competitor who has achieved everything in the sport? We're the British Broadcasting Corporation. We have a British citizen who is at the top of their profession, and you are virtually ignoring him and hyping up somebody that's done nothing by comparison. Okay, I'm going to stop this recording here because the racism aspect, I think, deserves a video of its own. So I'm going to again overlap what you've just heard, and that's going to be the start of the fourth part of this. Thanks for your time. Tune in for part 4, where we're going to analyse the racist nature of the BBC. Filthy bastards.